Welcome back to The Chosen's Blended Harmony of the Gospel. I'm Nancy, this is Mandy. We are on day 29, part 2, Cursing the Fig Tree and Cleansing the Temple. Cursing the Fig Tree, Matthew 21:18. The next day, early in the morning, when they went out from Bethany on his way back to the city, Jesus was hungry. Seeing in the distance by the road a fig tree with leaves, he went to find out if there was anything on it. But when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for it was not the season for figs. He said, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." And his disciples heard it, and at once the fig tree withered. Wow, that was pretty dramatic. Now Jesus cleanses the temple. They came to Jerusalem, and he went into the temple and began to throw out all those buying and selling. He overturned the tables of the moneychangers and the chairs of those selling doves, and he would not permit anyone to carry goods through the temple. He was teaching them, "Is it not written, 'My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations'? But you have made it a den of thieves." The chief priests and the scribes heard it and started looking for a way to kill him, for they were afraid of him because the whole crowd was astonished by his teaching and was captivated by what they had heard. All right, let's go back and look at cursing of the fig tree. It was early in the morning, and they went out from Bethany. On their way back to the city, Jesus was hungry. Seeing in the distance by the road a fig tree with leaves, he went out to find if there was anything on it. So he's going out, and he's hungry, and he sees a fig tree out there. He's like, okay, it looks healthy, right? Let's go on out there. But when he gets up to it, he realizes it's barren. There's nothing on it. So he says, I'm going to curse that fig tree, and it's just going to die. And this is what he's trying to show the children of Israel. They may look healthy, right? They look like they have leaves, and they look like they're alive. But a lot of people inside were just barren. They were dead inside. There's no fruit in their life. And so he's just saying, if you really follow me and you're doing God's will, you will have fruit. People will be able to see it, and people can enjoy your fruit. But this fig tree was barren. So I hope today you can remember that we don't want to be barren on the inside and just have leaves. We want to actually be producing fruit. So I hope today you are producing some good fruit. And then Jesus cleanses the temple. He came to Jerusalem, and he went in the temple, began to throw out all those buying and selling. He overturned the tables of the moneychangers and the chairs of those selling doves, and he would not permit anyone to carry goods through the temple. This is one story I would have loved to see in person, wouldn't you? He was teaching them, "Is it not written, 'My house will be called a house of prayer for all nations'? But you have made it a den of thieves." So he's just trying to show them that God's house should be a house of prayer. He said, "My Father's house is a house of prayer, but you have turned it into a den of thieves." They were kind of, doing pretty pricey there. People would come if they didn't have, the turtle doves or the sheep for the sacrifice. You could buy them there, but they were just really raising the prices, and they weren't being very fair to people. And all of that probably should have been done more outside, and they were inside the temple. It was just a mess. So he just came in with a whip, and he just was turning over tables, and that was just a crazy scene for sure. But he was just making a point. This is my Father's house. It's a temple. It should be a place of prayer and not of thievery, where you're stealing and taking advantage of the people, especially the poor people. So I'm glad he literally turned the tables on them. The chief priests and scribes heard it and started looking for a way to kill him, for they were afraid of him because the whole crowd was astonished by his teaching and were captivated by what they heard. So from that point on, that was a pretty big point he made. They were like, okay, we're going to get this guy. We are going to figure out a way to grab him and kill him or do something with him, because they were realizing they were losing power. All the people were amazed at what he was saying and what he was doing and all of the miracles. So they were a little freaked out at this point. But it's going to be exciting to see what happens next, huh? So come back again tomorrow for another Chosen Harmony of the Gospels. You can get your own copy of A Blended Harmony of the Gospels by The Chosen simply by going to thechosengifts.com. There you can find all kinds of wonderful merchandise to help build your faith this year. Be sure to check out their devotionals and their Bible studies. Have a blessed day.